what? The coolest nigga what? The coolest nigga what? The coolest nigga what? The coolest nigga what? The coolest.
Trolls, spammers, flaggers, genre haters, extreme fanboys and fangirls. These are the few of the many groups who are victims of the cool. Hey people up there, Crash Clown here. I apologize for the choice of music due to the N-word, but that's not the point of the song, nor is it the reason I put it up there. These days on the internet, depending on one's interests or hobbies, one may encounter members of these groups that I just called. Maybe you're dealing with people spamming your page with insults, or getting yourself in an argument with someone over a show, video, song, or a game. Or maybe, just maybe, you are the type to start these disputes in the first place. Whatever you may be doing, you are affected by an untangible and tangible form of the virus known as the cool. I say untangible and tangible because the cool can come in any form, from the range of mentality to, money and riches. The cool is what causes an individual to lose consciousness of what is right in order to gain something or stay in a state of mind while not giving much thought on the effect on others, and most importantly, oneself. It is the greed, hunger, and ignorance that causes people to have conflicts with each other. Now, saying that means the cool virus is not one that's limited to just what's going on the internet, but hit wider areas such as politics, race, and even religion. Well, let's just leave that alone and deal with the ways of the internet community. The haters, trolls, and flaggers. When I witness their actions around the net, I can't help but have some pity, because half the time I'm wondering, are these guys that sad? I'm wondering, why are people out there who think that being an ass is a cool role to play? What are you gaining? A few laughs? The real joke is that you have to waste your time on the internet just to be a jerk. I'm just saying, if you're on the internet, just try to actually use it and enjoy it. If you're a user on YouTube, watch some videos. MySpace or Facebook, talk to your friends or blog. Webcam girls, the 5-knuckle shuffle. I think one factor that caused a lot of members of these groups to act in such a way is that their personal lives outside is depressing, miserable, and unfulfilling. Of course, this is caused by the environment and one's way of thinking. So in order to somehow suppress these negative feelings that they have, they go on the internet to insult and flag, and most likely leave in the most regurgitated lines like, "You suck. I wasted a blank amount of time of my life watching this video or listening to this song. You fail," or the all-time favorite, "Get a life," etc. and etc. All this so they can feel better about their lives. Why should one do something like that? Who the hell put you in any position to state that you're better than somebody or some group? What makes it even worse is when I realize that this is somewhat a part of human nature. A majority of people, if not all, degrade others to feel better about themselves. It's not if we say that's how these haters do or think that way 24/7, but it is present in our minds. Examples of how we do this could be, "Oh man, I'm not doing so well in school, but at least I get better grades than John," or "I don't have a girl, but at least I'm not a virgin like Chris." Another example is that you could take offense if you're compared to someone who is either seen negative or inferior to others, depending on the situation, of course. The blame for that situation is both the individual and the people who are making accusations, and in a wider scale, the society. What I find strange and absolutely ridiculous most of the times is when you see these comments from the trolls. If you should check their channel or page, they have nothing to prove their worth. Either they have no material or just crap compared to the user/users that they are insulting. So that means that the trolls are just hungry for attention and look for whatever trouble they can get into. And if you were to lash back with an insult at them, you're caught in their game. Well, I will admit, there are times when I got caught, but the best options are to ignore them and just use one of the best features on the net, which is the block option. You get by a lot when you do that, and the trolls can't really do nothing more than bark and bite at the computer screen. Well, what I sometimes do is let them talk all the crap they want and let them feel dumb when they notice it doesn't affect me. Then I block their asses. Another thing is that even some of the trolls and haters understand that acting in such a way is short-lived and doesn't please them if they're looking for, some way to get it to ease the boredom or get the attention. Notice these days the people who put themselves out there in the community as some kind of villain, they end up with their accounts closed or even suspended. So that really means ignoring them is the best option. Giving them the attention is what they really want. I mean, there are ways to get them to leave you alone, but ignoring them is still the best alternative. Nowadays, I don't really care about who's doing this and who's doing that because I don't see what's the point to be concerned. If someone says something retarded or ignorant to you, why should that stop you from enjoying yourself on the net? If their words and actions should not have so much effect on whatever you might be doing. Saying that, I want to come clean and apologize for the time when I made that video, which I later took down, telling everybody to get this troll that I dealt with in the past. That action was totally out of character for me, and I was really getting people involved in my personal crap. I shouldn't have got people involved. If anything, I should handle my own business. But better yet, I should have left it alone in the first place. No matter how you look at it, the dude won because he got into my head to make me stoop down to his level. Now, back to everybody. Don't you know that every bulletin, every comment as a lashback, or every video that you make to come down at a hater or a troll, you're just playing into their hands. People, their purpose is to push you far enough to see how you will react, which is how they get their kicks. So what you do, which you might consider pawning, isn't really shit. They win because they got you pissed or concerned to respond to them in that way. Block and ignore. In a way, I find this whole thing hilarious. Think about it. These fights on the internet between people who don't know each other, all sitting in front of a screen, miles away in where the fuck in the world land, sending shit back and forth like a bunch of keyboard warriors, man. To make it even more ridiculous, these fights on the net are between folks who only know each other by screen names. This person versus that person with a screen name that range from something then a bunch of numbers, or a name that includes something from the categories of killing, profanity, a show, or name of a character from a show mixed with something, or they just have a name that blatantly tell their purpose on the net. For example, to piss you off 1-8, or the ultimate flagger 9000, etc., rada, ray, blah. When you look at the situation and see from that point of view, you don't have to make these things bother you. The trolls and the haters think that they serve some purpose to you by telling you their opinions. They are not worth your time. They're not worth my time. They're not even up to my level, as egotistical as that sounds. But it's true, they're not. They're coming up to me, telling me to get a life while they're safe behind their keyboards. Oh, how perfect and fantastic their life must be. They must have millions and billions of dollars and run their own business and get to toss Angelina Jolie salad every Tuesday to take time out of their lavish life to tell me to get one. Pfft, please, find something better to do with your time and be concerned about your life before you can tell me about mine. To conclude this side of the rant, whatever the reason may be, if one is looking for a quick laugh to erase boredom on the net, or somehow to suppress their state of life to harass others, none are any good reason to pick and get on the nerves of others. The internet is made for everyone to enjoy and use it Don't waste time to start trivial matters and disputes. However, despite how I say all this, anyone can be a troll or a hater. And what makes it worse, they probably don't even know that what they're doing is wrong. The cool is not just limited to folks that have bad intentions, but that's another part of the rant. For now, this has been the Crass Clown. Peace. I'm out.